Welcome back to Retail Wars, where today we're going to be looking at the Groove Onn Large speaker from Walmart. I've done a previous video on the mini version of this, and that one was $10. This one is around $50, so if you'd like to check out the cheaper version, I'd recommend watching that. The link is in the description or the push card on top right to go straight to it. But for now, we're going to be looking at this speaker, and I'm going to go over everything. Starting off, the packaging is okay, but it's not the worst I've seen. The speaker comes packaged with a plastic-shaped tray that sits on top of the speaker. The same plastic tray sits on the bottom of the speaker, which holds it firmly in place so it doesn't shake in the box. Again, it's just enough to at least withstand the box accidentally dropping, so it's fine. Upon opening the box, the first thing you'll see is a quick startup guide, some warning information, and the 2-foot micro USB cable to charge the speaker. Sadly, it is not Type-C, instead it is micro USB. Removing the top plastic piece of the speaker reveals the speaker, which comes wrapped in a plastic, and also reveals the functions buttons, which I will go over in a little bit. Moving on to the quality of the speaker, it's not bad at all. It definitely does not feel cheap and light. It most certainly feels very solid and does have some good feeling weight to it. The top and bottom pieces are made of a hard plastic that feels very solid, while the rest of the speaker is covered with this fabric mesh that as well feels very sturdy. Attached is a nice looking tight lace that can easily support the weight of the speaker alone. The Groove Onn speaker also comes labeled as IPX7, which means it can be submerged up to 1 meter in water for about 30 minutes. The Groove Onn is labeled as having 10 hours of playtime, and that's about what I got as well for my testing. It does have an aux port, and that is right next to the micro USB port, and 5-volt USB port that is inside the tight seal near the bottom of the speaker. That of course keeps any water from coming in and completely damaging anything inside. Now, quality for the sound of the speaker is what you should expect for a $50 speaker. Loudness is the key thing about this speaker, with not as high bass, but it's noticeable. Clarity could be a little bit better at high volume, but mid volume is where you'll find the sweet spot for loudness and good clarity. Like I mentioned, yes, there is a USB port, so essentially you can use the speaker to charge any device, so that's a nice bonus added. Moving to the top of the speaker, you have your standard functions: power button, volume up, volume down, pause and play button, as well as a Bluetooth button for pairing. Now, the interesting part of the Groove Onn is it has RGB light coming from the bottom, and in my opinion, it's not that great. The only way of controlling it is the button that is on top next to the Bluetooth button, and it has probably like 5 different modes. There's no separate app to control the lighting, but for $50, maybe you should expect something like this. But it's just really hard to change the mode either way, because sometimes pushing it doesn't do anything, and you just have to keep pushing it to get it to eventually work. At least that's the problem I have with this one in front of me. Who knows if they're all like this? Yours could be better or worse off. The one good thing about the RGB light I can say is its brightness, but that's about all. Another bad thing would be the power button. The button feels very muddy, and sometimes I can't even tell if I'm pushing it. That was just odd to me because all the other buttons have a click to them, but the power button doesn't. A cool feature about the Groove Onn is it has a mode called Party Sync mode, which essentially means that the speaker can connect to any other Onn speakers to become one for a more surround sound and experience. It's a very simple process, and instructions on that can be found in the quick startup guide included in the box. Coming to a conclusion, the Groove Onn is a good solid speaker for the price and definitely does the job well. I would say if you don't mind the minor imperfections like the no feedback on the power button or the unresponsiveness and lack of features the RGB button on the Groove Onn speaker provides, the overall quality of the sound makes up for those flaws. Another thing to note is if you don't like the RGB light on the bottom of the speaker, that can also be turned off with the button that controls the lighting. Lastly, do I recommend this product? Yes. If you want a good sounding speaker for a moderate price, this is definitely a good speaker to check out because you're getting a good quality speaker regardless of the feature imperfections. From a rating of 1 to 10, Considering what you get for $50, I'm gonna have to give the Groove Onn a 7, and that is mostly because of the quality and sound you get from it, along with the really good features like being able to charge your phone or any device from the USB port and the IPX7 waterproof capability, as well as having the option to connect to other Onn brand speakers. Now that's going to be all for this video on the Groove Onn rugged speaker. If you're on the market for a moderate price speaker, this is a nice option to consider. If you found this review helpful, hit that like button, and if you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button because there are plenty more videos on the way.